Joining me now from Independent Women's Voice is Kristin Tate. Okay, so not all that surprising. So much backlash about lawmakers trading stocks. No one in D.C. has learned their lesson, especially Nancy Pelosi. Your reaction?
Yeah, that's right. When members of Congress are buying Tesla, it's worth paying attention to. Nancy Pelosi, in particular, has a better investment track record than Warren Buffett. And that's because she and these other members of Congress are consistently conducting insider trading. They have knowledge about coming government regulation that's not available to the public. They've been doing this with impunity. Look at Nancy Pelosi. She and her husband are worth $110 million, even though her annual salary is only $220,000 a year. They've gotten this filthy rich by investing money in these companies she's supposed to be regulating, like Amazon, Google, and Disney. And to be clear, this is a bipartisan issue. Members on both sides of the aisle do this, and it's really infuriating.
Yeah, well, look, again, they have to regulate themselves. I don't think that they will, but we'll keep telling the story. I want to move on to something else I found really interesting this morning. You've got the CEOs of the nation's airlines. They write this letter to President Biden. This is American, Delta, United CEOs. They're all saying end the mask mandates on planes. And here's part of what they write. Much has changed since these measures were imposed. They no longer make sense in the current public health context. Kristin, since we don't have to wear masks almost anywhere else, concerts, most indoor spaces now, I think they've got a point.
Yeah, of course, these silly mask mandates should be removed. They make no sense. You go in the airport and we're all told to socially distance, and then you go on the plane and you're all crammed together. Everyone's wearing their masks incorrectly and pulling them down constantly to eat and drink. It's a total nightmare. And I think people are just sick of it. Everyone who wants the vaccine at this point has been able to get it. And on airplanes, by the way, they have great air filtration systems. So they're actually pretty safe to be on in terms of COVID. So it kind of seems like at this point, these mask mandates are just in place to give neurotic people a false sense of security. So I'm very glad they're making this request. And I actually think the Biden administration will probably cave. The Democrats are probably going to use this as a political opportunity ahead of the midterms to say that their COVID mandates were so successful that now we can lift the mask mandates, and they'll trumpet it as this big win for the Biden administration, even though these mask mandates have really been a failure since day one.
Well, they've extended them until April 18th for public transportation, planes, airports. We'll see if my sense is that April 18th might be a big day. But also to your point, I've looked at those air filtration systems and I've looked at analysis done, 3 different studies on them. No one's getting COVID on a plane, Kristin. It's not happening. So enough with the masks.
Exactly. And it's been a nightmare, especially for toddlers riding on planes who, 2-year-olds have to wear masks. My neighbor is a flight attendant here in Texas, and she said even the staff are sick of it. It's just become a joke.
They talked about the flight attendants in that letter, by the way. You're right. They're sick of being abused over this. Kristin Tate. Kristin, thank you very much. It's good to see you.
Thank you, Cheryl. Great to see you.